these prisoners. I have a ReLeaf, ReLeaf, fund projects. I have 3 projects, one with Dan and some music projects that are going to go huge. But we want to make a ReLeaf fund.
And more than anything, we have to turn our prisons into schools. And
there's something happening here.
I'm Rodimus Para, and I was actually Grasshopper from the original Kung Fu television series back in the mid-70s. I've known Jeff for over 40 years now, and I know him to be a consummate artist, photographer, also a man who has been around the cannabis movement since the very beginning as an activist, doing what he can. And a few years ago he started working on freeing the 420 POWs. I had been seeing the things he'd done, the video, helping people get out of jail. You know, it's amazing. So I decided to help because I think it's a very important movement to be a part of. I believe the karma of the cannabis industry will not be clean, really, until all of the 420 POWs are out of jail, serving time for ridiculous sentences that have nothing to do with the world we live in today. So I want to loan my help and my resources to make this happen, and I hope that you will do the same thing. Thanks.
It all started back in 2015.
There's something happening here.
I've also re-embraced the marijuana as just another way to recognize the plant, the mama. And Randy, how long were you in jail for?
Hi, Jeff. 27 years. I got a life sentence in 1987. I took my case to trial. They hadn't even found one bud, one seed, one stem in my case. So I took my case to trial and ended up getting convicted of brought in marijuana from Colombia. And so ended up with a life sentence. It took me 3 decades, and I overcame it in 2014.
Here we go.
that marijuana is the medicine, and no one should be locked up for any amount of time for any dealing with that plant. Period. You don't appreciate your freedom until it's taken away from you.
And tell them about the day you and I met.
In prison. Jeff come down to Jefferson City Correctional Center, and
boy, my arms are tired.
Yeah, you flew down. And we set up, and he had a few problems getting there, so it ended up running pretty late. And we set up right there in the visiting room and did a recap of everything in my case, pretty much. And he let me know a lot of the news about even you've probably seen a picture holding the book with the hemp on the front. That was taken there as well.
And I'm hoping is that it actually brings awareness to people of the harm it's doing. Not only the guys that are locked up, but their families. I think the money they're spending to keep these guys locked up for something that the Lord said you're supposed to use. It just don't make sense.
Did you ever think this day would happen, or 22 years ago that it happened, that he was put away?
I believe it when he got sentenced to life, and then finding out years later that it was life without parole. I couldn't believe it. Not in America for going to jail for life without parole for pot. I never thought it would happen in the U.S. of A.
But we were going to have Diana Marquez come on just to talk about what it's like to be on the CARES Act. She was one of the people that is serving 30 years for her first offense for marijuana. Diana's out date is not until 2031. She has another 10 years to go. We assisted with helping amend her clemency petition, and we even got a notice from Office of the Pardon Attorney saying, you don't meet the criteria. So that was very emotional and frankly, heart-wrenching. But we got compassionate release filed for Diana Marquez. Law professor Colin Miller from University of South Carolina and his students did it. And yesterday they called Diana in and told her to come in and get her ankle monitor removed because she won her compassionate release. And so she is free and anywhere. Just a few minutes. Diana, just say hi and hello to Jeff and Tommy Chong and the gang, and how it must feel to know that you finally have that ankle monitor off of you.
Amen. First of all, I just want to say thank you to you all for inviting me. I can express what is the joy that I feel in my heart right now. I'm still having heaviness in my heart. I can still believe that I'm free, completely free. You should see me yesterday screaming, jumping, and my little grandsons were scared. I said, what happened, Grandma? What happened? I said, I am free, mijos, I am free. And they were, thank you so much. I'm very thankful and grateful.
Well, thank you. And we'll bring you back on. I think Tommy Chong only has a short period of time today to be with us. So Diana will hear more from you, and Eric McCauley, who also won a compassionate release and got the award at the Emerald Cup. But Jeff, I'll throw it back to you, and Tommy probably has some words that he'd like to share with you, Diana, and Eric, and all of you guys. So we'll be quiet and let the show proceed.
What it was like when I was my first prisoner to film in prison was Sir Jeff Mazansky, and there he is. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, how you doing?
The moment that I saw their face and I knew they were going back in was so unbelievably, I can't express my emotions. And so we have several people, Amy included, Tommy included, and Jeff included, that were in jail, okay, that have seen the no daylight for weeks and days.
Well, that is a beautiful feeling, knowing that you're going home. First of all, it's kind of bittersweet, because what happens in prison is that about a month before you're released, everybody kind of stops communicating with you. You almost become like you no longer exist, because they have to stay and you're leaving, and therefore you don't get the privilege of sharing their intimate thoughts or lives anymore, and it was bittersweet. I was extremely happy to be free. When you're being released, it takes a lot to keep you there, because you're off the books, you're off their chart. Once you get off their chart, it's like, get out of here. We don't want to see you anymore. And it was bittersweet for me. And then when I never got released right home. I spent the first day home, and then I had to go to a halfway house. But even the halfway house, it felt good. It felt good. It's only a month, and after you've done a bit of time in prison, a month, at one time used to seem like a long time. But when you're in jail, a month can be like a minute.
There's something happening here.